This is the second vlog I'm doing with a review with Vibin. Thanks for watching, guys. Do click and stay tuned to us. This is the classic 500 which I bought recently this new Diwali. It's a EFI 499.5cc air-cooled engine. It's a single spark with the EFI technology. It's electronic fuel injected, and then it's pretty much old school bike which you have seen in all Royal Enfield bikes. Basically, there is no radiator. It's most of heat. So it's done 291 kilometers. So it's a BF4 compliant engine. It gets AHO feature, automatic headlights on. That's mandatory in these days. And then, so it gets a fuel indicator and engine sensor. There is more sensor like side stand indicator sensor. These are useful features, but this bike is more basic because of this air-cooled engine. It makes its mid-range is very good, but it's lacking of top-end spec of the bike. So it's a single-cylinder 4-stroke sparks, single-spark ignition. But basically, what it's done before, it gets a dual spark. But in this technology, because of the efficiency and then something else to that, so it makes a single spark, and it's a 499cc, and it produced of 27.57 PS of power at 5250 rpm and 41.3 newton meters of torque at 4000 rpm. And talking about the Borg, it is a 84 Borgs and 90 stroke. So it's a basically LS engine. LS engine means it's a long stroke engine. So basically Royal Enfields are long stroke engine. It's not an aggressive bike, so you can't it's not an everyday bike. It's a cruiser bike, so it's a LS2 bike. So and it's basically it's a chain drive, and it gets a number of cylinder, means it gets one single cylinder, and it gets a 2 valve, and it's a fuel injector. That's a main advantage of the bike. And it's of course it's a fuel, it's a petrol, and it gets a digital electronic ignition. That's EFI. It's a maiden free battery, and so it's a 12 volt 14 amps. And talk about the electronics, and another headlight, it's a halogen, and there is no projector light as offer at this price point. Shockingly, there is no LED light for indicator. That's shocking. And there is no any LED lights for another reasons, because of cost cutting. And then the pilot lights, that's are amazing. Looks like a tiger feel like that. And then I don't like about the Royal Enfields or the electronics. The wiring looks it's for you're paying for a 2.5 lakh. The wiring is not actually inside of the bike. It shows outside. What the heck is this? And they provided a first aid kit, and then they provided a toolkit over here. And then there are lots of cost cutting because of how to say, the people who own this bike, they feel want to ride. That's they mentioned in this bike. Oh, and then talking about chassis and suspension, chassis type is a single down tube using engine as a stressed as member. And suspension type, it gets a telescopic 35 forks and 130 travel. Suspension rear, it gets a twin gas charge shock absorber with a 5-step adjustable with a preloaded 18 travel. And talking about the dimension wise, the length is 2140, and width is 790, and height is 1090. So talking about the wheelbase, it gets 1360 of wheelbase, and ground clearance is 135 It's I think very low in terms of ground clearance. And seat height is 800 talking about the fuel capacity, it gets 13.5 liter of fuel capacity, but we can fill around 10 to 12 liters because of the radiation and heat problems. And talking about the carb weight, it gets 194 kg of carb weight. So this is I need to forgot to mention, if you are turning on the bike, the fuel injector starts work. and then only you need to press the self start button, and you don't need to give accelerator because do you know this is Royal Enfield, so they don't need any. The struggle which I am facing was to kick start the bike. That was really difficult. Then yeah, just I just give you some exhaust song. So talking about 0 to 60, the mind-blowing record is it just goes at 0 to 60 at 3 seconds. That's the phenomenal of this bike. So just check out the initial pickup of the bike. So it's scary rocket, right? So I feel that the braking power could be improved because it gets a dual disc, but I can't feel that comfortable of braking. But nowadays the Royal Enfield even 350 and 500 gets ABS. That's a more advantage of braking.